two. The reason there's a part two is because my phone got to 15% and then it just stopped recording. And so I'm having to redo this last part, but that's fine. So here we have the Buck Solo and the Buck, I believe this is the Duo. I would not recommend these. I do like them, but there is little to no retention in those slip joints. I would not use it for anything more than like opening a letter or a box. And I would not gift them or give it to a kid for their first knife because of that retention. It's a little too dangerous in my opinion, but I still like them. Cheap knives. Up next is my old timer knives. I love trappers. Traditional pocket knives are my favorite. I really love trappers because they got the big clip point and then the big spade blade. So if you're actually using your knife, which you can tell I haven't really used this is gonna get shaved down real low, and you're gonna eventually need another blade. And people don't really use spade blades anymore for what they're intended for. It's just the extra knife with a different shape now. That's pretty much how I see it. Because how many of you are spaying animals? I'm definitely not. Plus, it's kind of like a little piece of history. It's old timer. Yeah, I think it's cool. I love Western stuff. I like old Wild West stuff, Civil War era, all that good stuff. And then I have this small one. This is a lot better than those Bucks I just showed you, because it's kind of hard to push that. There's good retention, and it looks cool. I really like old timers. They are made in China, but it's like a timeless design, and I don't know, I like the aesthetic of them. Old timey aesthetic. And here's an example of a knife that has been used quite a bit. This was my grandfather's by marriage, not biological. And as you can see, that blade right there is super shaved down, and that's actually the spade blade. The clip point is this little thing right here that no longer has a nail nick. It's basically impossible to get out. See, look at that. That's the clip point right there. So he actually used this a lot, and it's the brand is like Case or something, Kacer. Never heard of that brand. Just completely shaved down. Up next is this little knife right here. It says Cowboy Toothpick, which my grandfather gave this to me, and at the time I thought that meant that cowboys use little knives as toothpicks, and so I tried it, and it was not pleasant, so I would not recommend it. But this is always had a lot of sentimental value for me. And this was my great grandfather's knife, given to me by my grandfather. It is a Colonial brand. and it says Provenance USA. I don't know anything about this company, if it's still a thing, but that is very old looking. A very old style handle. I do not, I would never carry this because I would hate myself if I lost this. Okay, up next I'm going to show my good multi-tools. I showed one earlier, that one's trash. So this is the suspension next. It's like 30 something bucks. It's perfect. It's got everything you need. And even a little pocket. And it's spring loaded. And it's supposed to be designed, I watched a video on it, it's supposed to be designed after the bridges in Portland, Oregon, or a certain bridge, like a suspension bridge or something. Then this, I got this for my birthday recently. It's got a pocket clip on it. It's the Leatherman Skeletal, and a cool knife right there. But the main reason I wanted it was for this carabiner that's attached to it. I can just hook it to my belt loop on my jeans and carry it around like that. And then the Leatherman Juice CS4. I've had this for a while. It's very, very small, but it has like everything you need in it. A good knife. And it's even got a little wine bottle opener, which I used once and bent it up, and I'll probably never use it again. And then I've got I believe it's the Super Tinker Swiss Army knife. It's got a big old blade on that. I would recommend if you do get a Victorinox, get one of the bigger ones, but not too big, because then it's too bulky in your pockets. It's got 2 blades. This is a good one. And then the Opinel made in France. It's got this little locking neck brace thing over here. I don't know what that's called. But it's really cool. It's cheap. It's made in France, and I'm really into like European traditional knives. Like I wanna get the Duke. I don't have one of those yet, and the Mercator, I think, and the Sword. The Sword. And there's that Japanese friction folder. I forget what it's called. It's got like the brass on it and the lettering. This right here was given to me by my grandfather, by marriage, not biological. And I don't know about the quality of them, but I've always liked these, and I always really liked the art on there. You got a Bowie knife. You got like a little scimitar looking thing. Another Bowie looking, and that one's really cool. Like a wide curved blade. But I got this. He gave me this when I was like 11 probably, and I would have it on my wall. And I always imagined if someone broke in, I would grab this one and this one. So basically, if you broke into my house, you're screwed because an 11-year-old's gonna stab you like 90 times. This one is probably my second favorite knife. It was given to me by my grandfather when I was younger. It's got a little sheriff's badge on it. So it's Texas Rangers riding the range, and it's got the little fake Damascus. And I just always loved this knife. It's super cool. I've always liked like Western stuff. Favorite genre. A few months ago when my grandmother passed, I was able to pick out a few things that they had at their house, and this was her husband's. It's a hawkbill, traditional knife. And it's super cool. It was it was hooked onto one of those like construction type belts, but for like around the house, made out of leather, with the different compartments like this leather sacks. It's hooked onto there. Super cool. It's old. It says AA Klein Tools, Chicago, USA, and it's super hard to close. And then this one I got at I think I got it at Academy, and it was like $12. But the reason I got it was I lived at a lake house for 2 years, and it was miserable, the person I was living with, and across the lake there was this old guy, and I couldn't understand a single word he would say, but he would be out there fishing all the time, and I'd go up there and fish with him and talk to him. And this was the knife that he used. He had like 10 of them. His little golf cart, all sharpened up and everything. It's crazy. But I couldn't understand what he said, but I listened, and he listened to me. So I always cherish those memories with that guy. He's a retired Navy officer. There's a J. Martini, Finland. Actually, have some lineage to Finland. Believe it or not. Yeah. He was an officer. He was like, if not the top rank, then close to it. Which is what he said, but I believe him because at the Air Force base we get these like transfers from other countries, soldiers, and we had one from Italy that would go fishing with them all the time, and they'd talk about military stuff. So I don't have a reason not to believe him. I'm just gonna take it at face value. he seemed like he was a genuine guy. And then up next is this tomahawk, which I got in Manitou Springs, and it's from a store that sells art made by natives that live on a reservation in Colorado. And the guy wrote his name on the back. His name is Bright Sky. That's the name of the artist. I don't know if that's his real name or just his artist name, but I always liked that. It's a beautiful tomahawk. That's real leather. And then those beads look really cool. Got this hanging up on my wall. And then these two knives, my dad bought me for my 11th birthday, and I picked them out. And ever since, they've been two of my most prized possessions. I've loved these knives ever since I had them. So it says Buck USA, huge fat belly on that. It's just super cool looking. I always like these a lot. And the other one is the Buck 110, my personal favorite knife. It's probably the coolest looking knife in my opinion. It's got that old-timey aesthetic I like, and it's usable, very reliable knife. And finally is one of my great-grandfather's knives. It is a Schrade old-timer made in the USA. Schrade USA 7-0T. Like, how do you not like these? That's awesome. It's the coolest knives I got. Alright, well, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope my camera's still rolling right now, because I have no idea.